First of all, I would like to thank World Bank for inviting me for these meetings and to all the presentation given by the World Bank, especially the one and the last from Luis. I think representing the whole ideas that we want to do in Indonesia's housing policies in the future. And basically, I also already trying to simplify the whole idea that we want to do in the future. But before entering that policies, we have a problem with the transition of the government. And as far as I understand, I'm working, as you said, more than 15 years in the parliament. So sometimes my mentality is like the opposition mentality, and really enjoy to criticize everything. And that is basically my mentality. And the problem in the housing policy was unstable, policies since beginning, and creates unstable institution. And that's why this housing ministry is moving from one form to another form. Sometimes joining with, what they call as Kim Praswil, and then Kim Bangwil, and then unite in the PUPR, becoming small ministries, and now separated from the Ministry of Public Works. And I hope that the initiative of President Prabowo, by mentioning about 3 million houses per year, which is already becoming the promise to the people, will making the policy in the housing more permanent in the future. So we try now to create a very solid institution from very solid regulation, and that is the born of the Ministry of Housing and Settlement. We have Pak Boni here as also member of the Housing Task Force, formed by President Prabowo soon after announced on becoming president-elect, forming a special task force for the housing, directly led by his brother, Pak Hashim Joyo Hadikusumo. And that is the beginning of all the policies we want to do regarding the housing in this country. So the idea is exactly just like what Louis said. We want to contribute to the growth of 8%, and then we want to eradicate the poverty, and we want to absorb as many as possible workforce in Indonesia. So the implementation will be going into 3 main policies. Number one is, as you mentioned, about the BSPS. We want to continue that program. We already get the information from the Ministry of Finance. Probably this week will be announced that the President ordered to build or to renovate 2 million houses. So before, the capacity of the decision of the policies are only 150,000 houses to be renovated every year. But now the President order, even we still only have like 6 months before December, the President insisted that we need to renovate 2 million. So it will cover like 43.6 trillion rupiah from our national budget, which means that every house will be count 21.8 million rupiah per houses, which 1.8 million will be going to the ministry to find the training all the administrative side of the policies. 2.5 million will be going to the owners, to the business beneficiaries, to the owners of the house, and 17.5 million will be going to the materials. This is also ask our ministry to join with another ministry, especially the Ministry of Cooperative, because we want to activate the Merah Putih Cooperative to join in the providing the materials for the housing renovation. That is the first one. The second one is regarding what is said about Kotaku. We work with the Ministry of Marine and Fisheries to prioritize the coastal area, which you know in Indonesia we have close to 13,000 coastal area need to be renovated, the complex, the settlement. And the President already agreed to the Ministry of KKP, Fishery and Marine and Fishery, to renovate 1,000 settlement in the coastal area. So our ministry probably will be at more 300 settlements. So the total renovation in the settlement area will be 10% of the total coastal area in Indonesia. So 2 million will be 10% from the backlog of the adequate housing, and 1,300 will be 10% from the coastal area. So the last one of the policy, will be needed very good formula of the financing, because the President already announced, especially when he met a couple of days ago in front of the Prime Minister Lawrence Wong in Singapore, because we want to, one of the example of the housing policy is the HDB in Singapore. The President said that we want to build 1 million units of vertical housing in Indonesia. This 1 million unit will be used not only to absorb the demand of 10 million backlog of the housing, but also to renovate our city where the slum and the polluted area across the sea and also the river, Riverview, Riverside, will be renovated by building the vertical housing, which probably started with 3 floors into 30 floors of the vertical housing all over cities in Indonesia. So this is the 3 combination of the policies that probably will solve, not only the problem of housing, but also the most important thing in politics, because the President already promised 3 million housing. So 3 million means that 2 million renovation per year and 1 million building of the units vertical housing per year. So this is 3 million. So the additional will be coming from the renovation of the coastal area. So business-like, political-like, we've done everything by this policy. Thank you, Luis, for your recommendation.